The desert was silent, an endless sea of sand, and wind that whispered secrets no one heard. But for Captain Elias Rourke, once a proud veteran of Earth's last planetary war, the silence was comforting. After losing his sight during the battle of Titan, the world became a darker place. Yet somehow, clearer God Elias didn't need eyes to navigate this barren land. He felt the wind change, heard the crunch of sand under his boots, counted his steps like clockwork. The world spoke to him in ways others forgot to listen for. Then, one evening, everything changed. While following an old scavenger trail near the shimmering dunes, his walking stick struck something metallic. Not rusted, not wreckage, but smooth polished. Even. He knelt down and ran his fingers across it. It was cold, unnaturally so. And the surface hummed. Not from Earth, he whispered. He reached into his satchel, pulled out a portable scanner standard military issue. But the device blinked wildly, then died. No readings, nothing. Whatever it was. It didn't want to be found. Most would have panicked. Elias smiled. The pod was buried partially in sand, like a half-submerged whale, roughly 6 meters long. Seamless, no markings, no openings, just smooth curves and silence. He touched it again. This time, something pulsed beneath his palm, a voice, not through ears inside his mind. You see, though your eyes are broken. He froze. It wasn't. Earth tech wasn't a dream. The voice was calm, ancient, and full of weight. Who are you? Elias asked aloud, gripping his stick tightly. Not who? What? I am memory. I am gate. Then, beneath his fingers, a line split open a door that hadn't existed a moment before. The hiss of pressurized air escaped, and a stairway descended. No one had ever trained him for this. So naturally, he stepped inside. The interior of the pod was impossible. He couldn't see, yet he knew it stretched farther than its size suggested. As if space bent inward, he felt weightless, then heavy, then neither. Gravity danced like firelight. The walls were alive, pulsing with data he could feel. A chorus of voices whispered into his mind. Not chaotic structured like a symphony. Your people are not ready. Yet you, broken human, you see truth through absence. Elias felt no fear, only purpose. Why me? Because no one else can hear the door knock, not even those with eyes. He was led not by hand, but by instinct deeper into the chamber. His fingers brushed over a panel. Instantly, a surge of memories not his own filled his mind. Vast empires. Stars that burned in hexagonal skies. Wars that reshaped galaxies. And one message. Humanity is the last gamble. Days passed, or maybe hours. Time twisted. Inside the pod. When Elias finally emerged, the desert wind greeted him like an old friend. He stood straighter, walked with calm certainty. The pod sealed itself behind him, vanishing under sand as if it never existed. But something had changed. Elias now carried more than memory. He carried code. Back in the nearest desert outpost Mira. Base scientists were baffled. Instruments fried when Elias passed by. His vitals were unreadable. Satellite imagery showed static when aimed at him. Something was off. He told no one at first. Just smiled that haunted, war-hardened smile. But then, ships started appearing. Not human. Not peaceful. And they weren't sending diplomats. The first ship entered Earth's atmosphere over the Atlantic. The Council panicked. Defense systems failed. Nothing stopped them. Nothing except Elias. He stood at the crash site barefoot, blind, unarmed. And as the alien craft descended with weapons drawn, they halted mid-air. Because he spoke a command. In their language. He didn't know how he knew it. He just did. The ship powered down, gently landed, and surrendered. He was brought before the Global Council. What are you? They asked. I'm human, Elias answered. But I've been upgraded. He explained the pod, the voices, the memories. He told them of the galactic test, the one no other species passed, because all others relied too much on what they could see dot in the months that followed. Elias trained others not in war, but in perception. He spoke of intuition, listening, balance, and stillness. He called it the blind path, and slowly humans began to see like him. Centuries later, statues of Elias stood on dozens of worlds. Some alien, some human dot, and beneath every one carved into stone in a language lost to time were the same words the pod first whispered, "Only the blind shall find the door."